And there is the final look. What's up guys, I'm back with another video. Since it's another day of quarantine, I figured I'd make another video, something else I'm doing too with the GLC. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know that I bought a GLC a couple months ago. I bought a used one, doing a whole bunch of mods to it. Didn't really come the way that I wanted to, so I budgeted all these different things I was doing to it. Well, for today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to put on a spoiler. This is gonna work for any spoiler, but obviously I'm gonna be putting it on the GLC. I just received the GLC 63 spoiler that I'm going to replace the GLC 43 spoiler. So I'm in my living room right now, so obviously can't show you the car, but I will show pictures. I think that's the best way to see the difference between the GLC 63 spoiler and the GLC 43 spoiler. Here, let's take a look at the carbon spoiler that came in. So what you're looking at is the coupe rear deck lid spoiler. You can see just how wide this is. This is a GLC 63 replica spoiler. The 43 isn't nearly as wide. So I'm gonna throw up the pictures for you guys so that you can see the difference in the spoiler. Now, the thing about the spoiler and how big it is it isn't gonna look right or wouldn't look right on a 43 if you didn't make other changes to make it look more aggressive. So you can check out my other videos, see some of the other things that I've done to my 43. But what we're gonna do with this one is it did not come with double-sided tape. I think it was a mistake on their part, but easy enough. We're going to install double-sided tape. Then I'm gonna show you guys how to remove the existing spoiler. Again, this should work for any rear deck lid spoiler that is held on by double-sided tape. And then we're gonna go ahead and apply this 63 spoiler. All right, so first, let's take another look at this spoiler. This is the top of it. You can see the carbon weave is really, really good in this. This is probably one of the best carbon weaves that I've seen for a replica. When you flip it over, you can see that this is where the double-sided tape is supposed to go, and there's nothing here. Now, a lot of people have questions, as did I, about what is the right double-sided tape to use. You can find all different things on the internet. Some people say you can use anything from 3M that has red tape on it that's gonna work. I actually called 3M and asked them about it because 3M has so many different types that are meant for different substrates. A substrate is really the material that the tape is gonna stick to. Now in this case, it's going to stick to plastic, basically, on one side, and on the other side, it's gonna stick to metal. Those are two different substrates, so you really wanna make sure you have the right tape. Let's take a look at some of the things that you're gonna need to start. Obviously, double-sided tape if you don't have that already. Now, this is the right double-sided tape for a spoiler, specifically for spoilers. Now, multiple versions will work, but this is the one that is recommended by 3M. If you can't read it, it's the Automotive Acrylic Plus Attachment Tape. I will leave a link in the description of where you can find this. As usual, you'll need some rubbing alcohol. 70% isopropyl is one of the best because it has the right amount of alcohol and water. This is an adhesion promoter, also recommended by 3M. And then I also like to have 2 sheets of paper towels, one to wipe down with the rubbing alcohol and one to dry off. This is my little makeshift workbench in my kitchen on my island. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Right now, I'm just wiping down all the surface underneath the spoiler where I am gonna stick the double-sided tape. Now the adhesion promoter you're only going to use for the spoiler side. This is required for the double-sided tape to stick to this material. You're not going to need the adhesion promoter when it sticks to metal, which the trunk is going to be a painted metal substrate. Now I love using this adhesion promoter because it does have a sponge and a handle, and it's pretty much one-time use. They cost about $2 for each pack, so you can buy a lot of packs for different purposes. Now that surface is ready to go, and it's gonna be super sticky. Now you wanna have a pair of scissors as well so you can make sure that you cut the tape to the right length. And now that we've applied the tape, we're gonna head to the garage and remove the old spoiler. Now that I'm set up in the garage, I've already got the materials and everything that I need in the trunk of the GLC. So let's take them out, show you what I'm gonna use, and then we're gonna get started. The two things that you're gonna need are a heat gun and fishing line. Now, as you can see, you don't want to rush it. You can heat up small parts, use the fishing line to wiggle it through, loosen up the glue underneath the spoiler, and then repeat that process. Now that we've fully removed the spoiler, there's still a lot of adhesive left on the deck lid. Let's take a look, and I'll show you how we're going to try to remove this. So you can see here, all of the double-sided tape that is still stuck to the deck lid. There's a couple more items that you're gonna use to remove the remaining tape. First, you're going to want to get some Goo Gone, which is safer paint, to help remove some of the residue and that stickiness. You're also going to want something like this, which is just a plastic razor blade. This is gonna help protect the paint and reduce the amount of scratches or the risk of getting scratches when you're scraping off the tape after you apply the Goo Gone. And lastly, just some paper towels to wipe up the mess. These two things are really lifesavers. So after you do the first pass, you might have to do a second pass where you put more Goo Gone and you use the plastic razor blade again. But this is really gonna get everything off for you. And after you're done with this, and after you have all the stick off, you want to wash the deck where you had the Goo Gone with soap and water. Now that we have the spoiler removed, we have the double-sided tape removed, and we've washed and dried the rear deck lid, let's take a look at what it looks like without the spoiler. Here's the spoiler that we're going to attach. You can already see how much bigger this is than the old spoiler that I removed. So first we're gonna test fit, then we're gonna wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol, remove the double-sided tape that's on this side, stick it on, and we'll be ready to go. This has a really good fit. Now that I have it centered on here, I'm gonna mark it down with some painter's tape before I remove the double-sided tape. I'm also going to heat up the surface just because the garage is a little cold, and you want to make sure that the surface temperature of the body of the vehicle is about 50 to 60 degrees. What's crazy about this is it's super light compared to the original spoiler. And there is the final look. So that's it. Let me know what you think about the spoiler. Do you think it's too big for the car? Do you think the original is better? Do you think the carbon fiber one that I picked up is the best one? And let me know if you think there's other things I should do to the GLC. If you liked the video and it helped you out, give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.